Hi, I'm Jonathan Sales. I'm a sculptor and stone carver. I work in different medias, wood carving, building up in metal and wood, and I enjoy art in all its different forms. I like painting, drawing. Don't do a lot, but I do a bit. I enjoy teaching as well. I like teaching stone carving and encouraging art. I've worked at a psychiatric hospital until very recently for 11 years now. I enjoy working with people with all sorts of disabilities and just encouraging art. Art's my saving grace, and I think it's very good for people, and it's good to have something you love doing. My school days were really poor. I had a very bad time at school. Basically, I was hard of hearing and nobody knew till my last year at school when I was about 14 and a half, and the teacher said to me, "Why don't you work?" And I said, "Because I can't hear." And that's when they got me checked out and tested, and it turned out I was really quite hard of hearing, and I got my first hearing aid, which I didn't wear, but that's another story. But school itself for me was a nightmare. Teachers had it in for me because I didn't seem to study, and I was looking out the window and generally messing about. I used to run away from school a lot and go in the park, and I used to go and sit up a tree and read Shakespeare, and sometimes I'd be found by the police and I'd get taken home. I got taken home a couple of times by the police. But I had a bad wobble and a speech defect, and kids used to come up to me and call me spastic, and I used to run away crying, and it turned out I had cerebral palsy. I only found out 5 years ago. And that was my school days, so they weren't very pleasant, really. I don't know what I would have ended up like if I hadn't have had a lot of love and support from my folks. My folks were very loving, and we were a close family. I had a brother, unfortunately passed away about 10 years ago now. So my mum and dad gave me lots of love and lots of support, and so without that, I really do feel that I'd be in the right state. So I feel sorry for kids that have a rough time at school and that don't have any love at home, because it must be terrible. Then you really are so angry. I was angry. Without that love, I never would have coped. I already was a bit of a vandal. I used to cut things out of seats, and bus seats and train seats and coach seats. And it was just like a trophy. I've achieved something, something for me. I can't really explain it, really. But I would have been far worse if I'd have not had love and support at home. I'd always drawn, because I couldn't hear in conversations. I didn't have hearing aids for most of my days at school. In fact, I didn't wear the hearing aid anyway, even when I was given one. But I used to draw a lot to express myself, and I modelled with plasticine. I was 17 when I discovered carving, and it was the next step from drawing. I'd drawn all my life, as far back as I remember, and some very heavy stuff. Some really quite weird stuff used to come out from my head, and my mum was ever so worried. But when I discovered carving, it was like the next step. This is like drawing in 3D, it was wonderful. From there, I tried to get in at art college. They said my work was out of proportion, and I explained that I was only playing around, and anyway, that's why I would come to college and learn that sort of thing. But they didn't accept me, so I came away. I did love art, and I was hoping to go to art college and do it, but didn't get in. So I taught myself for 8 years, and I went to the job centre, and I got a job working at a church, but there was no carving, and so I gave my notice in at that job, and I went back to the job centre. So they had a look on the computer, and they found a college in Weymouth, here in Dorset, and that's what brought me to Dorset. And again, I took photographs and brought 1 or 2 carvings with me, just small ones. Caught the train down and brought them with me, and they accepted me there and then, which was wonderful. And I went and bought myself a pizza and celebrated, walked along the beach, and yeah, I was really happy. I loved learning. I never studied when I was at school, and I made my mind up, I'm going to give it a go, and I wore my hearing aids for the first time when I was 25 when I went to college. And I never wore them before then. I hated them. But I thought, I'm going to study. And it was geared around stonemasonry, which is a wonderful skill, being a sculptor. It was great to learn, and architecture, and there was so much to learn. It's a vast field. I heard about enterprise allowance. Somebody explained that you can get £40 a week and set up your own business, and you get paid £40 a week, which at those days, I mean, it certainly helped. And so I borrowed some money. You had to have £1,000 to start up, and I borrowed the money, and I bought myself some tools and equipment for being self-employed, the things I might need. And I was in Sheffield for nearly 2 years, but it was very, very difficult getting regular work, especially doing sculpture. I didn't get much sculpture work. I did company logos, house names, a bit of restoration, the old Welsh, marble Welsh stand, and I do polished tops and stuff, repolishing marble. Just before then, I came for a carving event in Swanage, in Dorset, here, and I loved it. A friend told me about the event, I wrote a letter, they said come down, they paid me a bit of money to be there. And I did the week carving event, sold the piece I did, fell in love with Swanage, had a good time, and enjoyed working in front of the sea. It was beautiful. And then I met my current landlord, who used to go to college in Weymouth doing a part-time course, just doing carving. So he said he had a workshop here in Corfe Castle, which I didn't know Corfe at all. So I phoned up Mr. Viney and took on the workshop. I moved down, fell in love with Corfe, and that was it. I've been down here 20 years now, and done a lot of work. I'm pleased to say I've picked up a lot of work over the years from people. I never know where it's going to come from, and I tell people I do big and small stuff. You know, I do little candlesticks and anything for anybody, and I can carve anything at all. And just hope it keeps on coming. That's it, really.